Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast, we're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, I think all of us would agree, especially over the past 3 years, the workplace has definitely changed. The new reality of remote working has swung power back toward employees, but also it's been making it crucial for organizations to develop their internal talent as well. Even with the changes, even with everything that's going on with remote working, there still are fluctuations when it comes to the labor market, and that means that talent retention is something that employers are thinking a lot about, as well as employees want to make sure that they're having the available opportunities for themselves as well. Joining us today to talk to us about all of this, we're excited to welcome Leo Goncalves to our program today. Leo is the Vice President of Workforce Solutions for the University of Phoenix. Leo, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Cyrus.
So this is an important topic, I think, because everyone, when it comes to employees as well as employers, we want to be able to, of course, as employees, to find opportunities where we can be able to grow, but also, of course, employees want to make sure that they're somewhere where their employers appreciate them as well. So what can you tell us about the current state of talent mobility and why it's so important?
Yeah, perfect. That's a great point to start. Talent mobility refers to this ability of workforce members to access new positions, skills, opportunities. And as you pointed out, the last 3 years have been shifting a lot the job marketplace. The pandemic accelerated the early retirement of baby boomers, which has increased the competition for external talent, right? It's hard to hire externally. Also, we have data that shows that hiring internally is more cost-effective and it results in more engaged employees who want to stay longer term with that company. And despite knowing this, a lot of organizations have a hard time effectively developing internal talent. And the University of Phoenix and Executive Networks recently conducted some research with a survey of 600 human resource leaders and knowledge workers. And what we found out is that developing a reliable pool of internal talent results in an increase in employee retention, engagement, and satisfaction. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of the employees in our study agreed that they would be more likely to stay at their company long term only if they had more opportunities for career advancement. And that research also highlighted a gap in understanding. The employees are not aware of the opportunities that the companies are making available to them. So I think the important piece is unlocking the internal talent pools allows organizations then to not be so dependent on hiring externally and facing the competition that exists in today's labor market.
So that brings up an interesting question then, Leo, because I think if the employees don't even realize what may be available, what resources are available to support the talent development and to let them know what is available to them?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? And the recent technology developments have allowed the emergence of skill-centric digital talent marketplaces that allows employers to unlock that potential of the current workforce. It resolves that gap in understanding between employers and employees about how to access opportunities. These platforms are like, they can go a long way in creating the transparency and visibility for internal opportunities, which was one of the main issues that we saw in the survey that we conducted. Think of these platforms as like a dating app of internal jobs, matching the needs of the employer with the skills that the employees have. They allow the employers to constantly scan for qualified candidates based on skills and preferences of each employee. And that reduces the subjectivity of the traditional approaches to hire internally. Companies can become also a lot more precise in how they develop their workforce, because now you can identify what development activities apply to each specific individual. So you treat each individual's development in a very personalized way.
And that, again, makes the employee definitely feel like they are being really looked at as individuals instead of just as a group. And I love that. So, I mean, when it comes to the employers then, what's the first step for employers then, Leo, to promote a strong, engaged workforce?
Yeah, this talent marketplace is really, the technology itself is not sufficient, right? The organizations have to embrace a skill-centric approach where the understanding of the skills that are present in the workforce becomes a priority. The value of the platforms can only be fully unlocked, though, if it's backed by major efforts to change the culture. So just deploying the technology is not going to be sufficient. You gotta invest in making sure that mindsets are shifting, requiring a consistent push by the leadership to drive change throughout the organization, aligning the incentives for employees to participate in that process, as well as educating all the managers on the costs of hoarding the talent for their own functions. As I indicated before, it really is a mindset change where the individual talent is embraced as an asset of the company.
And again, this is such an important topic because as we know that things are not going backwards, I think our audience definitely will agree, Leo, that things continue to move forward and evolve. So it's great to know that there is hope out there for employees that are looking for that upward mobility where they are, but also for employers as well to have opportunities to be able to keep those that they have that are joining us in the workforce. Again, everyone, Leo Goncalves has been our guest. He's the Vice President of Workforce Solutions for University of Phoenix, helping us better understand something that's really interesting, and that is the role, of course, that all of us can be able to play when it comes to our workforce, but also the tools that are available for them as well. Leo, where can our audience go for more information?
You can go to phoenix.edu/workforce solutions.
All right, and we'll make sure that we link that up for our audience as well. Leo, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate you stopping by and looking forward to speaking with you again.
It was a pleasure, Cyrus. Look forward to talk to you soon again.
All right, sounds great. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Again, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. So let's go make today amazing. Take care.